Sameach, sameach, tisamach, reimo ahuvim ahuvim, tisamechacho yitzircho, Gan Eden mikedem. Sameach, sameach, tisamach, reimo ahuvim ahuvim, kisamechacho yitzircho, Gan Eden mikedem. Di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai sameach, di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai tisamach, di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai sameach, di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai tisamach, reim 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 o ahuvim oyoy, reim 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 o ahuvim, di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai sameach, di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai tisamach, di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai sameach, di-di-dai-da-dai-da-dai tisamach, reim 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 o ahuvim oyoy, reim 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 o ahuvim.
50 years is a long time. The children then are the grandparents of today. Yet in Jewish history, with 4,000 years of winding pathways, communities have been built and they've been left behind. We're taught an insight into the divine plan. When we live in one place too long, we lose our bearings. And once forced to move on, we're given no choice but to build anew centers for Jewish living. As we build, we remember what's important. We focus again on what it takes to keep us, the Jewish people, alive. In 1963, a group got together, and amongst them were two young builders who thought they'd be building houses and apartments. But thanks to their generosity and their caring, they ended up being the architects and builders of a great Jewish community, which includes the Swal San Diego Hebrew Day School. Tonight, we remember Maury and Barbara Steinman with great admiration.
They left a responsibility, which I believe is the most important legacy anyone can leave. The responsibility to continue what they are no longer here to do, to build our Jewish community, primarily through building our youth, through educating, nurturing, and engendering within the children, now in our day school, to grow as proud, well-educated, responsible Jews, and to become leaders of the community they have inherited, thanks to the work of the Steinmans. They were always giving. They were always looking for new ways to give more. That's our job now. That's the legacy they've given to each of us.
It is rare to find people who are committed to doing meaningful work in the community on a voluntary basis, but who are at the same time reluctant to receive public recognition for their efforts. Such people were Barbara and Maury Steinman. No matter how much time I requested from Maury and Barbara to help me with the major undertakings that were going forward at the day school, I was never turned down, and I never heard a word of complaint that I was back with yet another demand on their time. The Steinmans were my friends and my co-workers. I cherish the memory of both of them. Their contribution to the long-term success of the school is far larger than has been appreciated up to now. They were a remarkable, humble, and dedicated couple.
There were no boundaries. When it came to Maury and Barbara, their generosity and their involvement and their interest was beyond, not beyond, but almost in every area of the Jewish community. It wasn't, only for one school, one synagogue, one shul. It was Jewish education across the board.
We've been taught that a people survive only so long as their heritage is transmitted from one generation to the next. And from the beginning, the education of our youth has remained our vehicle for survival, our tie with the future. The daily news is constantly filled with brutal wars, corruption, and dismal stories. Change is rapid, and some things are gone as soon as they arrive. And yet, in the midst of everything, two people stood out from the ever-moving crowd, Maury and Barbara Steinman. They stood for quality, for value, and for eternal compassion. It takes very special people to do what they have done for all of us. Their impact for good will last forever.
I think there were a lot of moments of doubt when the consistency of Maury and Barbara Steinman's support for the school made a critical difference in keeping things moving ahead. In honoring Maury and Barbara and gathering their family together this evening, we're expressing our heartfelt appreciation for a couple that took great delight in every step forward of Judaism in San Diego, and particularly understood that the Hebrew Day School would be the catalyst for future generations growing up here, who had the same love and zest for Yiddishkeit that they each felt. Students have come from 37 countries, but their diversity doesn't stop there. Hebrew Day counts doctors, lawyers, Israeli soldiers, world-class violinists, a leading rock musician, sportscasters, and yes, rabbis and principals amongst its distinguished alumni. As diverse as these young boys and girls are, each has felt at home here within this school. Let's listen to them speak in their own words.
Only a few years ago, I was a shy, closed-off person, afraid to express myself, not able to take risks with friendships or with learning new information. Thanks to the loving attention of all the teachers at the day school and the support, cheering me on of my classmates who stood behind me, I am a successful professor today. Thank you, Hebrew Day, for showing me all I can be.
When I began thinking about all that the day school has done for me, I found myself compiling a very long list. Perhaps most importantly, the Swole Hebrew Day School teaches ethics and morality. A major part of the Torah education is how to be a good human being, and the day school is an expert at infusing students with a sense of morality and common decency. I've always thought of the day school as a magic black box. You feed the students in, and they come out better people.
I have learned and grown so much within the Hebrew Day School's embrace. It's so hard to say goodbye to the only world I've known outside my home since my 3rd birthday. I want to let everyone know that all my days here, every single memory, will always be cherished. Most of all, I will miss the care and time the day school took to mold me, not just my brain, but my very soul. Thank you.
When I was 11, my parents decided that the USSR was not the best place to live, for them and especially for me, and so they made a very wise decision and chose to emigrate. What the Hebrew Day School did for me, that no public school ever could have done for me, was to start me down the path of learning about Judaism. Slowly but surely, being Jewish shifted from being a nationality and a stamp on my passport to being a religion and a set of beliefs.
Most students finishing up their years at a school would say, "Boy, I can't wait to graduate." But I never wanted to leave this wonderful school. I made lifelong friends and will always remember my wonderful teachers. I know that I will keep the memories of this amazing school forever in my heart.
I attended Hebrew Day School for 11 years. Throughout these years, I built a powerful attachment to the school, its wonderful faculty, and to my classmates. My entire Hebrew Day School life was spent learning about my Jewish heritage, side by side with science, English, math, social studies, and of course PE. All my life I wanted to be a medical doctor. Today I'm an oncologist, but I know that the foundation for my success is due to the love, dedication, and commitment of the wonderful teachers and rabbis of Swole Hebrew Day.
We're celebrating 2 full generations of boys and girls. Today, young men and women distinguished by their respect for others, their caring, their devotion to Judaism, and their ability to provide leadership. And do we ever need good leaders today? Success in this 21st century for our upcoming 3rd generation of Hebrew Day School students will hang on who they have become as people, what's embedded inside of them. Children need to learn to manage emotions, acquire the tools to behave ethically, to show consistent caring for others. At Hebrew Day, we teach this comprehensively under the banner Successful Me. This is what good character looks like today. All of us look for sources of hope. And we know from Jewish history that one of the most hopeless times was when we were enslaved in Egypt. And the rabbis tell us that hope was maintained because the Jewish people didn't change their language, they didn't change their mode of dress, and they remained proud to be descendants of the patriarchs and matriarchs of the Jewish people. Walking into Hebrew Day School today gives all of us good reason to be hopeful about the future. We see our children learning, studying, growing, speaking Hebrew, studying our Torah, valuing it, cherishing it. It makes us understand how important it is that we look forward together to the celebration of the school's centennial, and we do so with strength in preserving these qualities that are going to keep the Jewish people strong and alive forever. Mazel Tov on tonight's 50th anniversary celebration.
Hashan